everyone! It's me, Wode! And here's Ilmar's Ubermuller.
Hello everybody, and welcome to tonight's race.
So we don't know if this was a draft or not, because I got into the chat room late, and Caleb didn't bother to tell me whether or not it was a draft, so you know what? Blame Caleb. Point being, though, these runners are running the same party. Fighter, Thief, Red Mage, Black Mage. Okay, thank you, Caleb. Not a draft. Also, apparently not a restream, but I think that's because Caleb's brain no work good no more.
This is a big match for both of them, though. They're both sitting 0-2, and that means if they want any chance to avoid that last chance qualifier, they're gonna have to run the table starting now.
Oh yeah, like these runners are both playing for their chances of getting to the brackets, and that means that we're going to see some probably interesting plays tonight, if I'm not crazy. But I'm going to go ahead and kick them out the door.
I could definitely see some unorthodox plays. If you're playing for, you know, your tournament life pretty much here, this is the time. If you're ever going to gamble, it's now or never.
Oh no, I assure you, there are plenty of other times to gamble as well.
Like Marsh all the time.
Ah, I see. So you are a new voice in this community, and also immediately opposed to the overwhelming majority.
Nah, it's... With these flags, though, with the open canal, or the sort of forced canal, if you will, you're gonna have to... It's not uncommon to see something down in Marsh, although, for whatever reason, that one chest in Dwarf seems to be big.
And we have a white mage, okay!
And an instant reroll for white mages.
White mage locked Fade, that is an excellent reason to reroll.
Absolutely. Although, in black, we did see Fire 3 and Fast, so those are both pretty decent sweepers for the start, and Fast, always huge for your endgame.
Oh yeah, no, like, it's one of those things. I don't blame Min for just basically going, you know, I had these names carefully picked out for the occasion, but, no.
Good old Abukdas coming back.
I mean, it's better than, the all-screaming party.
Yeah, the straight ahs.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We see Demon's gonna look to get an encounter, which there is a massive run off the start of this encounter table, which can be utilized later, whereas Min goes straight to Garland and fades him in the face, and that's done.
Oh, yeah. So I'm Did Demon even get... No! He didn't even get a fight!
No, there is literally like an 80-step encounter, like, run right off the power cycle here. So if you want to save scum your way across the world, this is it.
So yeah, the problem is that's going to get really rude in the longer dungeons.
Yeah, this back half has to be absolutely loaded. And while all that was going on, we got a loot and a chime from the king and princess.
Well, you know, we do have a saying around here, and that saying goes, sky, 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 sky.
That seems to be what's gonna have to happen. If you're listening to the seed, that might be the play.
Never listen to the seed. The seed is the seed is a blind, gibbering idiot standing at the center of a mad cosmos of pure random chance. The seed has no direction. The seed only can tell you, well, I could have locked something back here now.
Surprise, there's nothing in sky.
Yeah, well, no, that's the thing, is because of the way the randomizer populates chests, yeah, no, that chime means absolutely nothing except, well, we can get into the Mirage Tower now, which, yeah, I'm seeing Groggy Dog being like, wait, no, it's too early. And, yes, it is too early in the sense of we can't actually get there yet because we have to still find that canal, which is probably in Temple of Fiends. Just because Min skipped it. But, honestly, with level 1 Fade and level 1 Fire 3,
and that huge run off the start, too. First floor Mirage would not be, not doable at all. It's completely possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of, like, that's the kind of spell list that makes me stop and go, I could probably do an early skydive.
For sure, that could carry.
Yeah, that's the kind of spell list that makes me go, you know what? Let's do something stupid. Ooh, and Quad X in level 2 black magic, so that's gonna give the kind of firepower you need for this sort of situation.
Didn't have any canal in Temple of Fiends, but we did get an Ice and Ruin Sword, and that Ice Sword will be really solid for the fighter through the first good chunk of this game.
Oh yeah, and that Rune Sword, that's basically gonna be your thief's best weapon until, like, you class change.
Or
unless
Coral.
you find Masa. But, alright, and we have a crown, so, well, Mars, what's your opinion on doing fetch quests?
Well, first off, a floater at 5,500 gets me more excited than fetch quests. But the fetch quests are good in these flags because you're going to need levels in some degree, even if you're doing sky, and those fetch quests, every key item giving you that extra 5%, early on. Not a bad go.
Okay, look, Caleb. I know I rolled the seed, and, I know that I have a reputation, but this seed will surprise you.
That just means Canoe is locked somewhere horrendous. That's all it means, everyone.
Oh yeah, no, seeing that early floater, yeah, that just screams to me, the Canoe will not make you happy. The Canoe brings nothing but misery.
Keylock Marsh Canoe.
Oh, that would be the dream. I personally pull for that middle locked room in Marsh. If it's going to be key-locked Marsh, because no one ever checks that first. Like, you may occasionally see someone who's just like, I'm going to check the right-hand one first. Because, that's their first time diving Marsh, so they're already on that side. Then you have the people who are just like, I'm going to check the left side first. But you never see someone, just go ahead and hit the middle room first. But yeah.
But again, no one ever wants to do it in the first place. So it doesn't matter whether it's left, right, or middle. It's always just like, when it gets to that point, you just kind of hang your head and go, here we go, I guess.
Well, Min is making the play over to check the dwarves and finds a CA, but the next letter is B. So he's going to reset out of that.
I've watched a good amount of seeds where those two chests have held a canal, so it's a smart play to at least check those out and make sure it's not sitting right in front of you.
Oh yeah. So what we're probably going to see out of Min is he's probably going to make that Astos play.
Well, Quad X is pretty much an insta-kill on him. Can he roll over 300 on these flags? I don't think so.
No, he can't. Or I think if he can, it's such a narrow chance that, like, even if your first Quad X doesn't connect, your second Quad X will.
Yeah, he'd have to be full 230, I think, to just break 300.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things, yeah. I don't think Min actually picked up Quad X, though. He kind of just hit the pirates, got his key item, checked the item shop, saw the floater, and then blew out of town, so...
That's still, Fade and Fire 3 will take care of Astos pretty quick.
Oh yeah, no, like, if he survives the Fade, you're right, the Fire 3 will finish the job, and he does have the Ice Sword on the fighter, so... He is in solid shape as far as how to murder a Dark Elf in 3 easy steps.
Here we see level 3 black, we've got Temper, another very serviceable spell come endgame time.
Oh, absolutely. I missed we also had Saber and Quad X. That's something that the Thief is gonna like, and that is Exit for the White Mage, so...
Also Red Mage learnable, though, so Demon will not be missing out on that, at least.
Yeah, which I'm glad to see that, because I personally am a fan of Red Mage strats, but that's just because I have a thing for Red Mages. Any
seeds I seem to run practice or not with Lightning 3 there in Black 4. I always find like life gets locked out or exit gets locked out, so I've just given up not taking a white mage at this point.
Oh yeah, nah, like my standard go-to party actually is fighter, thief, red mage, white mage. Yeah, I miss out on the blasty, and there's a chance I lose out on fast, but at the end of the day, I like fancy hats more than I like wacky pointy mage hats.
It's all about looking ostentatiously fashionable.
Exactly. See, you get this. You understand. So anyway, yeah, we're
TNT,
probably
more
gonna
fetch quests.
Yeah, we're gonna be chasing these fetch quests for a few because I am reasonably confident Min is team #NeverMarsh. So
most people seem to be so. But again, at this point, you want to exhaust all your options again, getting your experience where your XP boosts where you can. So chasing these down is a smart play.
yeah, I mean it is one of those things where you do run the risk of your opponent deciding, you know what? I don't trust these fetch quests.
Well, and as
Which
we say,
is
that
what DemonRHK is going to discover.
Yeah, and
the
Min
case.
just absolutely ignores chasing that down and dives straight to Marsh.
I don't hate this play. He's got Fire 3, he's got Fade. There is nothing in Marsh to fear except turn order.
He can probably get all the way to these top chests on this big first run as well.
Yeah.
Now, when he gets to the bottom half, mind you, things can become very interesting.
Well, what he may also be hoping, I don't know if he has any houses on him, but if he picks up a couple more levels on that white mage, I think he'll have exit available.
He cleared that entire top without a single encounter. This back half of the table must be awful.
Oh, Sky is going to be great, let me tell you. There's no way that Sky isn't going to be a peach.
Yeah, I'm just thinking even Topher, because that run's probably gonna come right around start of Earth Flourish, with how big that is. Third floor, maybe. It'll be close, because that's a massive run off the start.
Yeah, I think you're right. If we don't start seeing fights on Earth floor, then we're gonna see it on the floor right before Earth floor, probably about the halfway point.
Yeah.
But
the plus side of that would be if you get around it, though, you might be skipping a good chunk of water and sky as well. It might even be worth starting to think burning encounters on Earth to avoid. Well, we'll see what the enemy skills play out as we go here to see what's the best floor possibly to skip.
So anyway, so there is the swing of this encounter table. It's just like, I can run through all the chests on the top of Marsh, and then get into 9 fights between that last chest and the door at least.
Yeah, it's gonna be an absolute slog through every one of the Fiend dungeons. You're gonna hit such a down spot where you're just...
Volcano might be fine, actually.
That was the one I was just about to say, was you may be able, if you're in a go mode situation, to literally just skip Volcano.
Yeah, Kraken, it's gonna be close. I don't think you're gonna really see any fights until you're in that room at the end of Kraken.
Hooray!
Let's see. Depending on how friendly the Ordeals maze is, we may not even really see many fights in Ordeals.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Demon gets a key, which makes Marsh maybe even more interesting.
Well, Min at least picked up a pro ring. So there is at least some benefit to him making this Marsh dive. And Dwarves at least didn't have anything for Demon. But let's find out what the rest of the keylock chests have, because I guarantee you that man is not setting foot in Marsh Cave until he has checked every other box in the Inner Sea.
Oh, but look what is in the bottom of Marsh. There is our loose canal.
Mm-hmm. So, that is the agony and the ecstasy of Marsh. You don't want to go there, but if your opponent is willing to take that gamble,
and we said right off the start, with this being, you pretty much have to run the table. Good time to start hedging your bets on some big gambles, and Min goes straight to Marsh, ignoring that key and that TNT, and seems to have a little bit of an edge at this point.
Yeah.
Especially if Demon's gonna be checking every single, every single key lock.
Now, the thing is this could still pay off for Demon. He may get into a situation where he finds some solid equipment. Also, I just realized what he went with for his party name, and that's beautiful. Because that's the inner circle, baby.
Mage staff would be very good for his thief to do something.
Oh yeah, now he's like Min. Even if Canal had been here, I feel like he got enough value out of Marsh to where this didn't wind up being a terrible play. Also, I think he just found the other end of the encounter table and bounced out.
Yeah, once you get through, it seems like all 10 encounters are squeezed together right there in the middle, and you get a little bit of a reprieve at the end, and then that big, huge run again at the start.
Yeah, so either way, Min is out of Marsh Cave, able to walk all the way back to Elfland casually.
With their access to tents, they can pretty much walk wherever they feel like at any time and never have to take any encounters unless they want to.
Yeah. Now, granted, this makes us heavily dependent on spike tiles.
Yeah, we could see some bottlenecking with level issues if they're not willing to take a few encounters here and there.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking in terms of because there was a call for a pop grind earlier.
You'd spend a minute walking around before you can start your pop grind, though.
Yeah, now granted, you would have a very high density of encounters, and hello, Adamant.
First real loose item in that Adamant and Canaria locked.
So, Demon probably gonna go turn that in. Maybe in the hopes of getting an Adamant Canal from the Smith. Or, not Canal, Adamant Canoe from the Smith, and not even needing to worry about finding that canal.
With access to that floater over in Provoca for just over 5k, you can get that canoe. You don't even need to worry about going in the land boat or the water boat, just go in the airboat.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, that is at least the nice thing about this flag set is, once you have the floater, you don't need the boat anymore because you already have the canoe. Because when you have that extended open progression flag on, where you just have that dock next to the Ryukon Desert, it's very easy to wind up in a situation where it's like, alright, I got the airship in the first 15 minutes, and at the hour and 10-minute mark, I have to get back in my ship because I have to go to DemonRHK to get the canoe.
Yeah. Can't do waterfall, can't do ordeals, can't get to DemonRHK without that. So at least, yeah, this way it gives you those options right off the bat. If you can get floater because you have canoe, you need it. The whole world is at your fingertips.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we're going to see if DemonRHK is going to follow this Adamant, or if he is going to say, you know what? I'm sure that the Smith doesn't have anything I need. I'm going to go deal with Astos.
If he goes to Astos, then that Marsh is sitting right next to him, but I think he's going to be turning in everything before he makes that gamble.
And you're correct. He turns around after getting to that fight going, wait a minute. Let's make sure this isn't the canoe before I go commit myself to the worst place.
He's going to talk to Narek again, but remembers he's going to go north. And our answer shall have to wait.
Okay, so let's just appreciate this thus far. You get a crown. The crown gets you the TNT. The TNT gets you a key. The key opens up a box that has an ingot of adamant in it. You take the adamant to the smith. The smith hands you an herb.
And all of this will culminate in a Thor's hammer.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to it this early on in the seed.
But
like,
for progression, you'd feel, oh.
Yeah, like, we have a lot of firepower already, yeah, but that free lit too. That's nice.
Oh,
and
but it's
it
big.
pays off. Okay.
Yes, it does.
So...
no marsh needed here.
Yeah, everything that Min just did, unnecessary.
Getting a mage stick, getting a couple levels, not horrible, but... oh, he's gone all the way over to Crescent, though, and has not looked in Corneria locked.
Yeah, like... and, it'll be interesting to see if DemonRHK has done his homework here, in terms of which route he takes to go get that airship.
Yeah, well, again, though, with that massive run off the start, does it really matter? Just buy a couple tents, and 2 tents you've walked there or rode there anyway.
It's about the principle of the thing, Ilmars. You have to do it. You have to take the correct optimal route, or else what is even the point of anything?
So, river tiles?
No, the swamp, actually.
Is it faster by a couple steps?
Yeah. Just because... well, think about it. If you take the river, you go north around that southern mountain range, but then you have to go all the way down that stream that goes straight down, and then circle back around to the desert. If you go south from the river fork, and circle through the swamps, then you're right there, and you don't have to do the whole hook back around.
Min has pulled a 180, and because he only got the tail from the sages, so he's come back and he has gone directly to Corneria Locked, which will pay off huge.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they're pointing out in chat, he really is kind of locked in. There's no point in going to DemonRHK because he already knows where the vendor item is. There's no point in going to... well, you could go to Earth, because there is the incentive chest there,
We are
but
on
he
fire
already
week.
made a... oh, yeah. Okay, this is the second time I've forgotten it's Fire Week. Okay, yeah. He'd be going to Earth to look for loose items. Yeah, no,
But do you dive without the rod, though? That's probably not worth it.
yeah, and it's one of those things, he's already made the marsh play, so he's already dove into one terrible bad cave tonight.
Yeah, but he's gonna find out right here that this is eventually the correct play once he goes back down to Elfland and the prince says, here, take this rowboat.
Yeah, so... soon enough, we shall have our floater, and... DemonRHK being carried by the Spanish god himself. Who is a master of getting the crap out of Dodge, so, you know what? He made it, and that's all that matters.
Value of thief.
Oh yeah, like that was some excellent turn order too.
I'm really surprised he took fights at all, though, given that huge run off the start. Does he not have camping equipment?
He does. It may be a situation. I know, some folks have a harder time getting hard power cycles or whatever. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Either way, though, now he's gonna be getting that airship here, and who cares about walking on the ground anymore?
Yeah. It may be a situation he may not also... I know that DemonRHK is a relatively new runner to Final Fantasy 1, so he may not be necessarily familiar with the ins and outs of encounter manip.
Hopefully something, if he goes back and has an opportunity to watch this VOD, something that he can pick up on.
Yeah, so real quick, for the sake of the runners who are potentially going to view this. So, the encounter table. When you hard reset, i.e. hit the power button, turn it back on, always starts at the same location. If you hit the reset button, i.e. soft reset instead... Okay, I wasn't sure if Min actually did get the key, because he's taking a really odd route to go get the floater. But, anyway, if you soft reset, it preserves your position in the encounter table. This can be used, for example, in this seed, where you have that stupidly good run right off of the power cycle to basically make sure you never have to take a fight outside of a dungeon. And that is the quick lecture.
Works off of 256 steps, so figure out where those runs are. Hard reset puts you back to step 1.
And soft resets make sure you can skip encounters if you have an encounter table that's root up front. Either way, DemonRHK making the trip to Cardia. I think we're going to have a class change before either runner's party hits level 8.
It seems like, oh, defense sword, both good right now for something to swing once he class changes, and of course that ruse cast.
And this dragon is protecting this 2 gold so hard right now.
All for 1,700 bucks.
Hey, that's a lot of bells, man.
And right away, Min has already class changed at level 6.
So yeah, this is going to be a thing, and Ochos have crack! I missed that when they
That's the first time
murdered.
I think we see him.
No, I think
Oh,
we
and
saw,
Thunder!
I think we saw it when Demon was taking the river before. Because I think that's what killed everyone but the thief. Yeah. Fortunately, both runners did find that ribbon in Matoya's cave. So, like, crack can't kill everybody. Just almost everybody.
The
Anyway,
thunder with it, though, can hurt.
That fighter is now level 10.
That's a big XP jump for him. So far, all we've seen out of Cardia is a defense and a bunch of money.
I mean, you know, push comes to shove, put a cat claw on your ninja. And, let nature run its course.
Do people buy those?
I sometimes do. Okay, look. The cat claw is not... It's not the best weapon. It's not even, like, top 5 best weapons. But, if you wind up in a situation where you don't have anything better than, like, an ice sword, grab that cat claw, toss it on your thief, or ninja, and, let violence take hold. But yeah, we did also find, well, Demon
Bane
did
sword.
find a Bane sword in the Elven Treasury, which Min did not get.
No, I'm pretty sure Min went through the Elven Treasury as well.
Well, either way, we do have a Bane sword available, also known as the Game Clincher.
Min's gonna try his hand at the maze here, more deals, and get sent back to the start.
As you do. Yeah, it's one of those things, one of my guilty pleasures as far as flag sets go, is to tri-state the pillars.
How many people would you confuse if you just left them vanilla?
A lot of people. Now, personally, I do actually, like, tend to follow the vanilla pillars, even when I know they're randomized, just because, like, it's an easy way to remember which pillars I've checked.
Yeah, just head south for everything, hope that pays out.
Yeah, exactly, and, you know,
And then
worst
you know
case...
which ones you missed.
Yeah, and that's the reasoning there, is it's basically a matter of, if you have to do a search pattern, you follow the search pattern as best as you can. So we get a Power Bonk out of Sarda and an Oxyel out of Ordeals.
The Sarda check, not necessary, but definitely, you know, something you want.
Yeah, like, it's free, and that power gauntlet is something that you would notice you didn't have if you missed it.
Especially if we start seeing any sort of, Temple of Fiends revisited fights that have anything rolled high on the absorb.
You know, I always forget that Min's White Wizard is just Min.
He's so cleverly named.
Apparently, incidentally, he didn't actually name himself after the Final Fantasy II character. Like, I had this conversation with him last year. It's just, he happens to be Minhthemage, and there happens to be a Min the White Mage in Final Fantasy II. It's one of those weird oddities of life. But, it is interesting, incidentally, how these two runners are routing right now. Min is making all of these, like, deep dives that the encounter table gives him the ability to just do. Because, I don't know if you noticed, but, we didn't actually get into a fight in Ordeals, outside of the spike tiles.
No, again, that's second ribbon here in First Flora Sky. And that's the thing, he's clearly knows about power cycling and is utilizing that to its fullest right now.
Oh, absolutely. He's probably going to go ahead and exit out of here, save, and then...
Why exit when it's still long enough to just walk?
I don't think it's quite long enough to just walk to greater than less than, and you don't want to be stuck in this tower when you hit the bad part of the table.
He walked
Not
right out of the
like
first
level
floor,
7. Like, I don't think Min is higher than level 7 or 8 right now, so... Oh, hey, a Sun Sword!
That's something the ninja can swing.
Oh yeah, that is my personal favorite of the swords, but that gets back to the whole I really like red mages thing. And some flame armor, which the ninja can put on.
That's going on the fighter for now. He looks like he hasn't armed that ninja with anything. Dan, possibly?
I think he's been trying to Dan the ninja, but you can't Dan someone when you don't get into fights.
When that cycle at the start just says run forever, you just can't possibly get anything to kill it.
Exactly. It's kind of magnificent in the funniest possible way. But yeah, Waterfall, that's going to be another dungeon that you're just not going to see any fights in ever.
If Demon hard resets here, no, he's taking the encounter table as is, so he might get into a rough spot here once he gets about 2/3 of the way through.
Well, he still has ridiculous quantities of Fire 3 and Fade. He'll be fine. There is nothing in this dungeon that's actually a threat. As long as he gets turn order.
Even
if he doesn't get turn order, he is going to die horrifically, but...
right now, with the levels they have, pretty much turn order determines a lot of things when you're running these.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have Fade, but he does at least still have Fire 3, so he's fine.
He's got his Black Mage up high enough that it's got a Lit 3 charge at level 4, too.
I didn't see what has Poison Touch, but I'm going to guess it was the Lobsters, because Lobsters are the worst.
Lobsters have everything evil. They're by far my most hated enemy in this game, in vanilla, in randomizer, whatever form of this game, I can't stand lobsters.
Everyone's got their least favorite enemy. Actually, I don't know what mine is, though.
The correct answer is lobsters.
I think actually for me it might be sorcerers. Because if they roll decently in terms of their stats, then they're just a pain to...
Just PTSD from vanilla days?
No, it's just like their M defense is really solid. They don't really have any weaknesses. And their baseline stats are decent enough to where if you get stuck in a fight with like 4 of them, you have to waste like 3 rounds clearing them unless you have like Nuke.
Or Fade.
Okay, or Fade, but the point being, like, sorcerers are just a pain in the butt, and we're better off without them.
Min's gonna grind this Man-Cat Medusa tile a couple times here.
It's the best we've seen so far. Like, honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen either runner at least poke their head into Hall of Giants real quick.
Yeah,
See what the two fights there are.
They also checked or did they check the lock chests in Northwest? Because there's those two different spike tiles there as well.
I don't think either of them did, because that was out of a very long chain, and yeah, I would be surprised if... neither of them went back to Northwest. It was too out of the way from where they got the canoe. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see either of them check it at some point.
EXP says you will not grind me. Here's some poison damage.
Good old damage poison.
Oh, he has now equipped the ninja. I think he said, you know what, I've tried to damn you for too long. I get it, you're not dying, fine. 4-man strats.
I mean, it's one of those things, as scarce as levels are going to be, unless we just find a really good tile somewhere, I think you have to take the 4-man, like...
And that's the other thing, he lost those, like, 3 levels he got grinding this Mancat Medusa by, as soon as he stepped off, he got peed damage poisoned. So that little bit of that mini grind is gone, and he's back to level 8.
Well, this will give him a chance to peek the Grey Worm tile and see if it has anything of value. Meanwhile, Ankylos are unrunnable and have cremate.
Okay, they might also be my most hated enemy. The red ones especially.
Yeah, no, okay, that's right. That's the other enemy I hate. Are Ankylos. Not even once. They're never worth it.
No, they always seem to have a ton of HP. They give you no experience for the value based on what you're killing or what you're getting to have to, the resources to expend to kill them. It's just, always feels like it's just no, just a no.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things I try to forget they exist because I hate them so much. So I'm glad we saw those to remember that I hate them.
Yeah. Oh, Massa in Armory.
And that's in a free chest too, so if something rude had been on the Grey Worm, you still would have had that. Also, Black Shirt for that Black Mage. So
that's definitely not a grind tile that you're looking at using though with just the wizards. Still haven't found that big spot to be able to really level up.
Well, that's the gamble of the B-side spike tiles is, yeah, there's a lot of really good fights on the B-side. There's also a lot of really crappy fights on the B-side.
Yeah, he's committed to the
fights.
Yeah, Min has now committed to actually using the ninja. He even put a weapon on him now.
I mean, again, I feel like you kind of have to, just because the seed isn't going to kill the ninja. Like, the lava might, but honestly...
The lava is the best. If you wanted to dance someone, this is about the only way. But then again, you might not see a fight here if you've run straight from the top.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things, I would keep all 4 characters up until the point where I actually found a grind. Just because, like, you know, 2-man strats are great when you're getting, you know, fight. But if you're not getting fights, all you're going to have is 2 underleveled characters unless you have found the tile to grind with.
Exactly. And right now, it's definitely not very friendly to having an opportunity to level up yet.
So, Demon, meanwhile, is making his ordeal play. And probably will also see very little in the way of danger coming through here. And he also runs into the same problem Min did of, alright, I'll just check this first pillar, and I'm at the beginning. So... But yeah, for anyone who is watching at home, incidentally, and doesn't know what we mean when we're talking about B-sides, basically every encounter in this game has... the way that it's stored in the game's memory, basically there are 2 encounters for every entry. which we refer to as the A side and the B side because vinyl is still cool. So generally speaking, the B-side tiles tend to be kind of the harder encounters just because, like, the way the game knows which side of the encounter table to look at is kind of based on location, and so, like, a lot of the B-sides wound up on the back end of the game.
Yeah, a lot of the B-sides you start seeing once you get past, in vanilla runs, and you start getting into ordeals, water, and sky. So you get they're supposed to be the harder fights in the game, but Randomizer says what Randomizer wants to say. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't.
Alright, it looks like Min's quest to kill the ninja continues.
He's so close.
And he's so... but the Grey Worm...
It says no.
Straight for the White Wizard.
Of course.
This is kind of beautiful. Like, this is the hardest I've ever seen anyone have danning a ninja.
The game,
just because
if this encounter of Nagas and waters can't get rid of the ninja, just give up. Just say he's here. There you go.
Rest in peace.
And that grind tile instantly becomes no good due to crack.
Waters with crack. Oh, that's gonna be terrible in Topher.
Yeah, and that might be right around the time you're getting into that really heavy part of the encounter table.
Well, no, fortunately I think most of that dense part is going to be earth and fire floors, so we may be able to just sprint through water.
Yeah, we might get the wraparound at that time. We may have the wraparound at that time.
We may.
Out. He didn't look inside that chest, did he?
I don't think he did, because I certainly didn't hear a ba 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 ba.
No.
It's probably not actually the jingle, but...
Ooh, and that's... Yeah, he went all the way down, got there, and didn't open it. And this being Fire Week, that red D chest's sort of important.
Mm-hmm. Now, hopefully he remembers on this other dive like AL Markin is saying in chat, but yeah, like... And we've actually seen this, I think, every week in a race I've called. Where this happens, and it's one of the dangers that Final Fantasy I kind of brings to the table, because the fights are often so mentally draining that it's very easy to get to the end of one and just completely blank on whether or not you did a thing because, you know, you just got through waters with crack.
You're just saying, I need to get out of here, I need to save this experience, I don't care what happens, I need to get out, and then you go, oh wait, I didn't open that, now I have to do it again.
Yeah. Now fortunately, with all the looting already done, Min can literally just walk to the bottom of this dungeon. The only fights he'll have to take are that Gurren encounter on the Agama tile and somehow get through the Naga fight the Naga water fight the second time.
He may have also wanted to...
He remembers he didn't open the box.
Yeah, I think he may have wanted to redo his spell charges there. To have full everything so he could get through this and then get to carry.
Yeah, that would make sense.
However, he has to get through this.
Yeah, he does. But, it's one of those things, fortunately, he does have those two ribbons to protect from crack. And he has a Maza and a black shirt. Like, he may have enough gas in the tank to just kill carry with the two mages and call it a day.
Yeah, throw the Maza on the black. Well, you can't now.
Okay, so... Anyway, so Min is going to have to resort to white mage strats.
Get the chest,
as we all
exit
predicted.
out. get the chest, exit out. You can walk back down here in 30 seconds without an encounter.
Alright, and that was our... So, yeah, it's at Warmek's house after this. And the Bridge of Destiny is going to be awful.
At least that white mage got a lot of levels right there too, though, so...
Yeah, chat's saying that it looks like we got 5 levels on that white mage, so, yeah. So anyway, now Min goes down to the volcano for the 3rd time, but the only thing he's fighting is Carrie.
Yeah, he's not going to see another encounter the entire way here, so he's got that on his side at least.
Mm-hmm.
Demon checking out the chests at the top finds himself an opal helmet.
Not the worst thing if you're not going to ribbon up your, knight. Where did we see that second ribbon?
There was one in Matoya, and I believe the other one was first floor of Sky.
That's it. Alright, I was trying
Mirage.
to remember why... Yeah, I was trying to remember why Demon didn't have that second ribbon, and that's why, because he hasn't gone to Mirage that Min has, so... Probably help if I pulled up our tracker's handy-dandy notebook. So yeah, so far we have seen a lot of good stuff. We are still hunting for the rod and the ruby, though.
We've got our one loose as well, so... And we've only gotten... one... No, we've gotten 2 quote-unquote dud items for progression, being the opal and the power bonk, so that second loose still has the potential of throwing a monkey wrench in things.
Yeah. Well, okay, technically the rod's the only thing that we need for completion, but let's be real here, you gotta feed the Titan. Man works hard, man goes hungry. How can you live with yourself if you don't feed that Titan? Anyway, Carrie's gonna die.
Carrie's got over 700 hit points. Carrie does not have over 1100 hit points.
So...
That's the 45-40 mark. We've got our first orb lit by Min.
Yep. And we'll see where he decides to go from here. As Caleb was pointing out in chat, Ice Cave is incentive location still on the table. If the rod's there, Min doesn't have to care about any other boxes, because everything else is a fetch quest that ends in a Thor's hammer. And if it's not the rod, then we get to watch him do a fetch quest. He hits... I don't know why I did the awesome, rad facial expression. It doesn't matter. You can't see me.
I felt it though, Wout. We all felt it.
Good, good. I'm glad that it conveyed well. Now, one thing that Min's doing that may just be a little bit of a memory lapse. He still is keeping his dead ninja in the front slot, and maybe that's to get the extra run chance, or ambush and reduced ambush and increased first strike chance. But that Dan Ninja could be parked in the second slot and allow that fighter to take more damage.
Is he still only level 11, did I see? For everything else?
What was the question?
Min, I think he's still, level 11 still, so he's still not at that point, I don't think, where you want to be running that fighter, because he just doesn't have the, getting that extra run chance still with the ninja, versus, having any sort of morale chance or any sort of anything. That fighter is still such a low level.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things, these runners are going to be praying for a good grind tile by the end game.
Piece of tinfoil found.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that either, Caleb, whether or not ambush rates, but that's the only reason I can think of to put the ninja in the front instead of putting him in that second slot so that the fighter can eat 50% or, what, 75% of the damage?
Yeah, he'd get up to 75% chance of being hit at all times there.
Well, I think it's a little bit lower than that because it's a 50% chance outright, and then 25% chance for a reroll, of which is... Okay, never mind, it is 75. I just did the arithmetic on Twitch and realized, wait, no, that math actually does work.
It might be off by a point something here or there, but yeah, let's call it 75.
Well, no, actually, I think it might be 67.5, because it's half of a 25% chance, so that's... Yeah, 62.5, that's what it is. So...
Oh, we are breaking a cardinal rule here, let's just stop.
No. I'm doing arithmetic on Twitch for the last time. Yeah, it's 62.5.
Yeah.
Because the fighter has a half chance of being nailed on the reroll of the 25%, and then the fighter also has a 50% chance outright, so that's 20. So that's half of 25 plus half of 100, so 62.5. Boom, nailed it.
Totally not because chat put it in there either.
No, I called it before Jonathan Yoshi got it. Look, I maintain, it's fine to do math on Twitch as long as there are no letters involved.
Once it hits algebra, that's it, it's over.
Exactly, that's where you get into the danger zone. As long as you stick with just arithmetic, you're fine. And you may even be able to dabble in trig if the opportunity presents itself, but, you know,
Please explain a trig equation to me in FFR.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like, the only way it's going to happen is if, say, you know, you do find something like a chime early and you have something loose in Mirage, because I would say that that's a sign. But, you know, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I know some people find it acute, but honestly, I think that the whole thing gets a little bit obtuse.
While we were making completely ridiculous math puns, Min has dropped down to a two-man party at this point. Got rid of that white mage. Or the, yeah, I think it was the white mage as well. Or he's only got the white mage. And he's got two people.
Yeah, white mage fighter.
Yeah, that's what it is. Got rid of the black mage.
Yeah, no, I don't hate this. That white mage is going to be your bigger damage dealer in the end game, with Nuke not being anywhere decent. And honestly, that white mage is also the strongest member of the party right now.
Yeah, those extra 5 levels really beefed him up quick. Meanwhile, Demon's got his cube, making his way to carry.
Oh hey, there's that red dragon that got evicted by all those water fights. And Demon is not fighting anything if he can help it.
He just wants to get those two to carry and hope it's enough. We did see carry had about, at least about 700, over 750 HP. The last hit was for like 450, so anywhere between like 750 and 1200-ish.
So anyway, Wiz Ogres have stun touch.
Oh, that's annoying. And his poor Demon is stun locked. Oh, wait. Red Wizard stood up. Got him with the Fire 3.
Yeah. So...
Looks like Min's done with his grind on the Frost Giant Frost Wolves, and Northwest brings his Black Mage back up.
Yeah, get that fighter up to level... Get that knight up to level 20, get a couple of spell charges, get him in prime position to where you can get that 5th swing of the Mazza without needing to invest too much time. I don't hate it. He'll probably get to level 24 just with the few fights that we're going to pick up in these longer dungeons.
Yeah, once he gets going specifically into Sky, which, and again, Sky, he should be able to easily pick up the last few levels.
Does he have warp? Okay, he does
He
have
does
warp.
have warp, yes. To get the ruby.
And... well, looks like the Titan's eating tonight. And there's a katana for his damned ninja. Still continuing to position him in suboptimal locations.
Meanwhile,
man,
Demon's having a heck of a time with carry here.
Like, even if the goal here is to have the white mage eat punches for the black mage, you'd still want to put that ninja... Actually, I guess the ninja is in a good position to protect the black mage if that's your goal, but I still think I'd rather have the ninja in that second slot.
Funnel as much as you can to the fighter. Carry is not going down, but finally, like the fourth or fifth hit with the Mazmian finally takes her down.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I love red mages, but oh, high object lesson in why you heal immediately after a tough
I was
fiend
just
fight.
about to say, and gets jumped by fires, but thankfully gets away.
Remember, boys and girls, you can absolutely still get into fights between the fiend's orb and the altar. Do not assume that you can safely take 2 steps.
Min's full clearing out the bottom of ice here. We've got Nuke at level 6, and Black, I believe we saw that earlier. And yeah, that warp, because obviously Min has it. There's your most loved sorcerers.
And now Chad is debating whether or not it's important to save. Hi, Loose Crystal.
Second loose item, there it is. Crystal in the bottom 6.
Well, that's at
Minhthemage.
least good for Min, because he now knows no matter what, he does not need to go to Mermaid's side. And he can also take advantage of that super long run going through Sky.
I think, yeah, he is going to spend some time on these Agamas here, probably burn off the rest of his charges, and he knows he doesn't even have to open the chests in the next floor if he doesn't want to, just exit out when he's done.
It's the second time Demon has gone to Ice Cave and then changed his mind. I wonder what exactly he's thinking about there. Ooh, we might be seeing a check of Hall of Giants.
Yeah, it's gotta be spike tiles. We don't have the rod yet, that's the one thing we're still waiting on somewhere in the fetch chain of Ruby or Crystal. But he's going...
Does he forget that this is an incentive chest?
He's gotta be thinking...
I mean,
no,
obviously...
because he cleaned out... No, he cleaned out the red dragon chest. He
might be thinking... Okay, here's the thing. I've spent the last, 2 hours forgetting that this is fire incentive repeatedly. I could see this as a situation where Demon's going, oh, no, we're still on Earth incentive. I just found something loose.
I got a loose item in the red D chest. I just better run... Oh, no.
Well, the bright side is with this encounter table, this is not going to be a very costly play. He's going to kill the vampire, he's going to realize, oh, I have made a poor series of decisions. And, meanwhile, we have Chet yelling at Min to hurry up and get a move on.
Leave the Agamas alone.
I mean, traditionally we're supposed to call for Agma facts at this point, but,
Agama facts, they're getting chopped up by Mazmian.
Yeah, it's one of those things that there aren't a lot of Agamas left to, do the thing.
Yeah, and as suspected, he burned all his charges and then decided that's it. He's positioned really well now that he can just run, chase down this rod, and run down everything else.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Rod's at the end of our fetch quest.
So
that Ruby is going to lead into, I believe, the slab.
Yeah.
And the slab will take us to the rod.
Yep.
And apparently, while we were looking over at Min's side, Demon did find an X-Cal.
Yeah, he pulled that. That was out of the trap chest right before Vampire, I think it was.
Yeah. The chest of Maya's woe.
Well, he at least gets dragon armor out of that Vampire chest.
An Excalibur and dragon armor. Like, at the very least, he's got to feel comfortable going to ice now.
He's that. You know, he can't really ask for more than that on your knight. Plus, you've got that Masa. So if you want for a while, you can be rocking Masa on the ninja and that X-Cal on your warrior there, and at least until Tier 2 Chaos, you could be doing out some good damage from both.
Yeah. I can't remember where we found that Vorpal, but that might also be come into play as well.
Yeah, I don't care where it came from.
It's an acceptable sword if you don't have an alternative.
Hasn't we already found a katana though? No, that was on Min's side that got the katana for his dead ninja.
Yeah, thank you, Dwight. So the Vorpal was in Northwest Castle.
Yes. Thank you.
Look. Yes, in this situation, we already have better weapons than the Vorpal. But it's not completely without value, and it was a lot better before we actually gave ninjas a decent attack rating.
I've been watching some seeds where maybe this is just because of the randomizer, but I'm watching ninjas getting 6-7 hits on things. Is that vanilla?
No. So one of these flags that was introduced about 7 or 8 months ago. I can't remember. Basically, so in later versions of Final Fantasy 1, they upped the ninja gains hit percent to like +4. And people got to talking, and we realized, you know what? That's actually a really good place for the ninja to be. I mean, I'm not sure if it would imbalance or something, though. So a couple of us actually went through the trouble of just editing a base ROM to say, okay, thieves and ninjas now gain +4, and gave it a run through, and it turns out that no, it doesn't horribly unbalance things. It just makes the ninja a glass cannon, which is very nice when you find something like the katana. Like, it took the katana from, oh yeah, that weapon that, you can throw on your ninja if you want, to, oh yeah, the katana. Now my ninja is a whirling dervish of doom.
And on Demon's side, he's got X-Cal on the fighter, he did get a katana that he's got on the ninja, and the Masa on the red. So he's got 3 really strong melee people at this point. Demon has got a lot of melee going for him, but without those grinds that Min has put in, his levels are still lacking a little bit. Let's see if he takes this Agama grind or not, though, because this would be a good tile for him to really start buffing up his guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think he can definitely make it work. The Red Mage puts one of these Agama in an arm bar. Everyone else just kind of goes for it. It'll be great.
Min gets himself a pro cape in the free chests here. In the sunken shrine. And yes, Demon is going to take this Agama grind for a bit.
I mean, it's what you do.
He really needs to. He's definitely lacking on levels at this point, so he needs to start buffing them up real quick. Well, I'm getting a little concerned that your reputation of seeds has just been horribly exaggerated at this point. I
mean, okay, here's the thing that you probably should be thinking about here, Mars. Outside of those waters in Ochos with crack, what have we seen this seed that's bad?
Very true. Very true. One of the best things, I wish I could remember who was running, but there was nuclear airs that were unrunnable with Gurnagas.
I mean, I was on the comms for the infamous nuclear winter seed, so...
Yeah, last week there was a nuclear winter. There was a nuclear airs that were unrunnable. It was just awful.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things where when you have something that either ambushes or is unrunnable and gets nuked, it's just, well, I guess now is the day I must learn to encounter manipulate. Hey, I wasn't the one who rolled Nuclear Winter. I'm pretty sure that was Leggy who rolled Nuclear Winter. I was just around for it.
We got a Kraken pull here on Min's side. We're going with some fast, some Bane strats. Power bonk. That fast comes off. Invis 2, buff up that evade. Kraken hits light.
And that's probably
Super
gonna be the last punch that Kraken lands, I'm gonna be honest. He is dead this round or my name isn't Woat.
Oh, Kraken rolled super low on his attack.
Well, I guess
But he
my name
rolled-
isn't Woat, so...
Seems to have rolled high on the absorb though.
Now, Min's got a Bane Sword and Brack, so even if it takes a while to chip through this Kraken's defenses, it's still going to die. One way or another.
Either chip it down or we're gonna get that, what is it, 1 in 6? Whatever it is.
I think it's pretty much just like 1 in 4. For, oh no, for Brack it's 1 in 4. For Bane, it's, yeah, I think you're right, it's like 1 in 5.
Either way, Kraken goes down. Fades and Masa takes care of it.
That is one of my favorite coincidences that I have to wonder if it was a coincidence or not in this game. The Kraken Tiamat thing. Because Kraken, not actually weak to poison. His MDef is just so much worse than Tiamat's that it winds up working out to where your chance of breaking Kraken is exactly the same as your chance to break Tiamat, in spite of Tiamat actually being vulnerable to poison.
It'd be very hard to speculate on whether what was intended and what wasn't, given as much as we all love this game. If you look at it from a coding perspective, there were a lot of things that did not equal up properly or work exactly as intended in the original game.
I will grant you that. But
Ooh, gas tile.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, this is unrunnable, but this is also 3 to 4 gas Ds on a spike tile that you can just walk to from the entrance.
They didn't roll overly high on HP. I think that was only like 250 between the fade and the attack.
So anyway, I think Min is about to do another grind real quick, just to hang some levels on that ninja real fast.
I think so. Yet again, the strategy of danning the ninja comes back to nope. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they have less than like 250 it looks like.
Yeah, there was a 267 I think it was that killed one of them, so ooh. Yeah, you definitely take this.
Yeah. The high MDef that dragons tend to have is going to make the fate a little less ideal, but you know what? It's not like we're going to get into very many fights for the rest of this dungeon. We can afford to burn some spells here and get a little more experience rolling.
I can see him burning a bunch of charges again, and then turning around. 236 killed one. You know, I could see him firing off all his charges here, exiting out housing, and then getting the big run all the way back anyway.
Yeah, I could see that too, but yeah, Min is going to have absolutely no trouble with Temple of Fiends, and I suspect we're going to see Demon probably make the same grind.
Min is banking that he hasn't seen anything nasty yet, and it's just going, something's coming. If I'm level 30, nothing can hurt me. Caleb goes with, is he minimizing his chance to die in Topher? Oh, stop. And just like that, he's all the way back to that tile after exiting out. Meanwhile, Demon is fed the Titan. And yes, it seems that ogres are left around with the Titan at all times.
I mean, look, it's called Titan's Tunnel. If something was named, you know, Woat Schnazzy Castle, you'd expect to see a lot of Woat encounters there. It just makes sense.
There has to be something evil coming up, right? This has been really smooth so far. There's gotta be something coming around the corner. That's gotta be eating at the back of both of their minds at this time, particularly Min's. That's gotta be the only reason he's been grinding so much.
Yeah, well, okay, again, here's the thing. We've seen, like, in spite of the encounter table, we've seen a fair number of fights. We haven't seen any of the bad stuff. Like, we've seen 1 damage poison, 2 cracks, and I believe this concludes the list of bad things that we have seen.
I think the Ochos also had Thunder, was it?
Yeah, I think they had Thunder, you're right, but... I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is we've had maybe 4 enemies that were actually, like, a substantial problem.
But to also be fair, we got the opportunity to skip a lot of encounters, like a lot of the big mass mobs, like our Geist, Image, Wraith parties, the multiple things in Ice Cave that you're used to seeing, multiple undead. We haven't seen any of the big multiple undead packs in Earth. They could also all be holding something evil.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true, but I'm just saying, like, even on DemonRHK's side, where he has been taking a lot more fights than Min has, just because he hasn't been manipulating the encounter table as much, he hasn't seen anything awful either. Like, it's one of those things where just... I honestly think all of the bad stuff is going to be hiding in Topher, just waiting.
Now's your time, people. Get your Bless RNGs out. Min is approaching that Bridge of Destiny. Will the Robot Overlord make his appearance?
I mean, considering the fact there's a non-zero chance that the Bridge of Destiny is about to be an encounter every 2 steps, I'm gonna go with, yeah, we're probably gonna see a War Mech.
Yeah, he's at that part of the encounter table right now where it's gonna be... He's probably gonna get a few here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where even if he weren't at that part of the encounter table, between the increased encounter rate of the Bridge of Destiny and just the way it looks like this table is spread out, like, he's gonna get into a bunch of fights. Three counts as a bunch. Just so it's clear.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, 3 is like right there on a bunch. It's more than a couple, it's a bunch.
Exactly. See, you get it. Anyway, Tiamat is about to die horrifically.
Power Bonk, Viz 2, and Fast. So setting up a little bit here. Oh, starts with Damage Poison. Not horrible rolls at all, though. And here comes the Brak. Yeah, it's like an absolute wet noodle for 2 hits, 2 damage, with only 1 invis cast out.
Excuse me. Managed to get my headset off in time.
4 hits, 424, fade for 218. We're at about 800, so Tia should be down here any second. Oh, still going with Brak, nothing there. Oh, we're at about 1300 now. So Tia's over Vanilla at this point. Min's gotta be close here though. Firing out the nukes, the fades, 1600-ish. Ah, there we go. Down
Yeah.
goes Tia.
And that was the Tiamat you really wanted to either break into pieces or Poison Cloud terminated.
Yeah,
But,
with that much HP, that could be a little bit of a problem.
yeah. In any case, though, Min has lit his third orb and is on his way to go very, very quickly deal with Lich.
Lich is not long for this world when he gets there. If only we had some cake to give him.
Yeah. I still maintain we need a respect Lich flag.
Lich
can go
1
in
or
the-
Lich 2?
Yes.
To both?
Yeah, no, so my suggestion for the respect Lich flag is it just automatically sets Lich's stats to the maximum they can be for the flag set.
Spicy, I like it.
It would go in the inconveniences tab with all the other things I've suggested that no one will ever only person who thinks it sounds entertaining.
Hey, I'd pay to watch that.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. People would watch it, no one feels compelled to add more inconveniences to this game. It's the eternal struggle of being mean.
Here we've got Demon on the Bridge of Destiny on a very different encounter table, so we may very well see a Warmech here.
Oh, we absolutely have a good chance of it.
Less RNGs, people, here we go. As soon as we're done heal potting. I agree, Caleb. He could use the levels for sure. Warmech would be tasty experience. Fighters are nice experience. Not Warmech experience, but nice experience.
Yeah, like that is the nice thing about the Bridge of Destiny is it's still a good thing in. So Min's gonna poke that spike tile, decide he doesn't want the fight, and not even bother opening the box, so he won't be getting an Excalibur today.
Let's see if he goes left and gets that dragon armor here. Oh, looks like he is, after he deals with some wolves.
That's my favorite thing to see happen with. You open the box, you turn around because it's like, that's garbage, and then you stop and go, wait,
I should pick that up.
wait.
Demon's on the incredibly high HP Tia fight. Let's see how it can make out here. He's got those 3 warriors with decent melee, so should be able to grind him down here.
Yeah, like it's one of those things, Tia has that damage poison that you gotta watch out for, and does seem to be quite happy to use skills.
Okay, if you want to see Lich, you better look now. There it goes. 282 and dead, jeez.
Telling you, man. Respect Lich flag.
Oh, Tia breaks out Blaze. We did not see that on Min's side.
See, this is concerning for Demon because I think we've got one more skill from Tia before we're seeing that damage poison again.
That knight is in a good spot
Yeah,
still, and that's
okay.
the one with the Mazda.
We might be seeing a damage poison here in a sec.
Oh no, he doesn't have the 3, he's got the X-Cal on him.
Yeah. Because that
still.
was damage poison, ink, blaze, ink. Anyway, Min has all 4 orbs lit, so we will soon be traveling to the Temple of Fiends to travel 2,000 years in the past and close the time loop.
Now's the time to see if there's anything big, and it's gonna have to be pretty big to slow Min down here.
I mean, we've seen the Gurmaduses of Death before. I could see something like that happening.
That's true, we haven't seen Death Touch yet.
But yeah, let's see where the encounter table places us at least.
It's gotta be right around the floor before Earth.
Yeah, I'm feeling like it's got to be around the midway point of the floor before Earth.
Anytime here, we should be hitting that chunk. Here we go.
Boom! Nailed it!
Yep.
Apologies to headphone users, that was very thrilling for me. I don't get to be right about things in Final Fantasy Randomizer very often.
It's almost like we were paying attention.
I mean, it's just one of those things, I'm gonna be honest, I have no aptitude for step counting. I go entirely based off of, like, rhythm. And so it's just like, the rhythm for this feels about like the rhythm of, like, where I would expect to get in Temple of Fiends without encounters, so... But yeah. Oh, Garmaduces have stone poison?
They do have stone poison.
Oh.
And
rub. I think we have pro rings for everyone, so that's not an issue. But,
either pro ring or ribbons. I know he's got the 2 ribbons at this point on the fighter and the white mage.
Yeah, nothing bad yet. Yet.
Here's Lich 2. Will he put up more of a fight than Lich 1? Nope, dead in 1 hit.
So yeah, I think there's just 2 massive runs in this encounter table.
You get a big run, those 4 and 5 encounters, and then another decent run, and then 4 or 5 encounters, loop back to the huge run at the start.
Well, it's a bounce back, so I think it's... You get the big run, the 4 or 5 encounters, a second big run, and then like 10 encounters before another big run. So...
Carry 2 doing some work to the white mage, oh no.
Yeah, that is an reset there. You want that life too.
That's usually Kraken's job to reach out and touch the white mage, but Carry decided to jump the gun on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just... that... Carry 2 is... Like, alright, Kraken is the gatekeeper that everyone acknowledges. Tia is the bouncer for chaos. Carry 2 is that sneaky fiend that, you know, you don't expect to cause trouble, and then she just causes trouble because she, you know... She knows you're not paying attention.
Especially if she rolls, I think she had 6 or 7 hits there, she can do some real damage if she rolls up on her hits.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah. So, if this were a D&D party, you know, you'd have basically 2 heavies, a, you know, kind of sneaky type and carry, and then Lich is the GM's little brother whose mom said that he has to let him play.
Take little Timmy along, come on. He'll be fine, just show him what to do.
If you don't let your brother play, you and your friends can't use the basement.
But Mom...
Oh, the rock goals also have damage poison. I don't think we saw that before.
No, we did not.
Don't worry, Caleb. I'm sure that will be brought back to his feet when the time is right.
We'll take care of it.
And, you know, will help.
Healing up for the Lich 1 fight again here. Let's see if it'll be just as quick and painless as the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, if Lich, like, has first turn nuke or something, then that can end very badly.
But
You'll never know, though.
Says no.
Yeah, the damage that's being just pumped out by ah is just too
Going with the
substantial.
defense strats on this one, giving Carrie some respect.
I mean, after Carrie deleted the white mage, you kinda have to.
Meanwhile, Demon's over here just about to pull Kraken 1.
Yeah. Demon,
Oh,
not
nuclear carry. Carry drops nuke.
more like flary, am I right? Yeah, I'm totally right.
Yes.
So anyway, Demon is working his way through the Kraken 1 fight. We know that this Kraken didn't really show a whole lot, so I'll be surprised if this takes very long.
No. Going with a whole lot of power-ups to that fighter, so this should pretty much be a one hit and go home.
Yep. But speaking of Kraken, let's find out if there is something terrible in lying in wait on Min's side.
Start off with the standard buffing, fast, Invis 2, defense.
Yeah, you gotta keep that fighter on his feet if nothing else. Oh,
Damage
Kraken
poison,
also has damage poison.
Everybody
And
gets a
Inferno.
damage poison. More Invis stacks. Here comes the Masa 7, 632. Big hit to start things out for him. I don't think Kraken can take too many of those. 774. 1400. Kraken still standing. And down he goes
And
to
the nuke
a
will finish it off.
Demon lit his third orb. We're gonna burn through Earth here now as fast as possible.
Oh yeah, this will not take long. Demon should be in Temple of Fiends Revisited by the 130 mark.
A very respectable time, but Min just made all the right plays, got his grinds in to really set himself up really well, took the tiles where he found them, and really made good use of that big run off the start.
Brings the ninja to his feet to take a punch for the black mage.
Buzz here to be your meat shield, people. Hail Mary Bane.
I mean, what else are you gonna do with that?
No turn.
But yeah, so...
Tia 2 misses the Black Mage with only the one Invis 2 on it.
You love to see.
Well, we're coming down to an absolutely horrific chaos here, or your seed was normal.
Okay, I'm gonna point something out here. This Topher would have been a lot worse if Min wasn't in the 30s.
Okay, fair.
Like, I'm just gonna leave that one hanging there.
He hit the worst part of the encounter table, like steps from getting out of any encounters.
I was almost positive he was going to hit another encounter right before the staircase.
So did I. Thought he was ready for that fourth one there as well.
Alright. And so the time has come to heal the entire party up, so that Chaos can immediately mow them down. So, what we're needing here is a nuclear Chaos with high absorb and evade.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's gonna slow Min down here. That fighter is absolutely jacked right now. He's got all the spells that he could need for it. If he gets the fast off, I mean, slow 2 could be an inconvenience, but oh, Chaos comes out swinging hard for 450 to that knight. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, this is what we like to call the danger zone.
Now he's potentially just one crit away that gets through that'll ignore that evade and absorb and do some serious damage.
The knight casts a wall on himself.
Gotta make sure that... Does he not have the ribbon on him?
I think he left the ribbon on the mages. But yeah, it's a situation. I don't think he has anything to patch that fighter up aside from
heal 3,
heal
I think.
3.
Yeah,
heal 3 looks like... Yeah. It's heal
that?
3 or potions.
Did I see 9 hits for 22 from that Massa?
You might have.
Oh boy.
I mean, Chaos can't hit, and it looks like this is a particularly punchy Chaos, but, okay, there we go. That was a crit.
Whew. I was worried there that I was going, oh boy, if that's that high of absorb, that knight's already hurting. It could be very tough to get through it all. Oh, never mind. There's 10 hits, 737, and it's over.
Yep. Minhthemage has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 56 seconds. Get those... well, you already got the GGs in chat, so y'all are way ahead of the game on that.
That was a very, very good race by Min. He tried his darndest to dan that black mage for the longest time, or the ninja for the longest time, gave up on that, kept him around, finally able to get him down, got some good grind tiles, built that party up big, and that knight needed every one of those levels to sustain that first hit by Chaos.
Yep. No, and that's what I'm saying, is that Temple of Fiends was not a nice Temple of Fiends. It just looked that way because Min took those grinds in order to be ready. Like, Demon's Dive may wind up looking very different.
Speaking of which, standing in front of Lich here.
Yeah, he was pausing to type into IRC a GG and letting us know that he'll give it one good dive. And then presumably if he wipes, he'll just take a forfeit. So we've still got a bit of a show ahead of us.
Yeah, but we do.
Speaking of a show, that was a good show, Min. GG.
GG.
Congrats, man. This is Ilmar's. How frustrating was it getting for you doing everything in your power to kill your thief at the time, and the seed saying, no, you must run a 4-man?
I mean, okay, it was pretty annoying until I saw those waters had crack. I'm like, this is bad and good at the same time, because my fighter's gonna die and I'm probably gonna have to re-die the volcano, but
in your power
it won't matter.
Your thief at the time,
because I don't have to
revive my
you must run a 4-man.
Could you mute the stream on your end?
Yes. I don't have my stream.
Well, we're getting
right.
audio feedback. Min, real quick. Alright. Alright, there we go.
Outside of that, that seemed like a very straightforward seed for you. What did you think?
I liked the encounter table. I liked how it was clear at the beginning, but like that got really annoying on Tiamat floor when I got was it 6 counters in a row before I got to the Chaos floor or something?
Yeah,
I think chat counted 4.
Yeah, it was 4.
Like between Tia 2 and Chaos.
It was a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Well, we pointed that out right from the start, that we saw that it was big off the front, but definitely backloaded.
Oh, yeah. I was like, well, I've never soft resetting this Sid. I'm only gonna hard reset ever, because that's why I did my ordeals so quickly, is because I could get there without a single.
Oh yeah, no, you. One of the big difference makers between you and your opponent in terms of kind of where the time saves came from, he did not do much in the way of taking advantage of power cycles, whereas you did, and that probably had bought you a lot of minutes.
Oh wow, I knew
Because-
off the bat that that would save so much time. I was actually really happy about it because like this is gonna save me a lot more time that it's gonna lose because the only time it'll be obnoxious is like middle of Earth or Topher.
Yeah, because he picked up a good bit of time on you because he didn't go to Marsh Cave.
He didn't go to Marsh?
No,
No.
he went.
He found the adamant.
Yeah, he got that adamant and got canoe and bought floater and just bypassed canal totally.
Oh, I don't think I had the key at that point, so I was like, I've got a thief, the encounter table is not that bad, I'm gonna give Marsh a shot, and I think I barely made it out without exit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's one of those things, just because of the way that everything kind of laid itself out, yeah, you just could go straight to get the key, pick up the canoe from, or pick up the adamant. The adamant. Let me look at what the dang thing.
Adamant was in Canaria Locked and led to canoe.
Okay,
Eventually,
thank
there
you.
was the herb in between that you had to go see
Yeah.
the elf prince for.
That's what I thought. So yeah, it was just one of those things where like, yeah, all right, yeah, it was TNT led to the key gave you the adamant led to the herb gave you the canoe, then you just bought the floater and you could be airborne quickly. So Demon was in the air before you,
Yeah.
and yeah, a lot of your time save in turn just wound up being like, you encounter manipulated a lot cleaner than he did.
Yeah.
By which I mean, I don't actually think he did much in the way of encounter manipulation, which may come back to benefit him here in Temple of Fiends, depending on where the long runs land.
It should be annoying in Earth Floor. I think I had no encounters in the sea floor or the fire floor, and then it really came back at the end of the air.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, like, he didn't power cycle, so there's no way of knowing runs are going to be.
Yeah, he ran
Well,
pretty
until they
much.
happen.
Yeah, he ran a soft reset the entire game, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that would definitely have hurt me a lot if I hadn't done that. If I hadn't power cycled.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other stuff.
I'm kind of surprised he kept his red mage. I saw that level 1 fade and I was like, I want this white mage immediately, and white magic actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that was the other thing. You
Yeah.
re-rolled real quick when you saw. I don't even think you looked at black magic. Did
Oh,
you?
I didn't. I was like,
No.
I see this level 1 fade, I need this.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did enjoy when you found the gas D tile in Mirage. One
Yeah.
moment, I think Demon is trying to remember if he has life on that red mage.
I hope he does, because that would be really sad if he didn't.
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
Was that red mage learnable?
I'm not sure, because I ran a white mage, so...
Well, I mean, it was what, level,
It was 5 or 6.
5. I think it was 5.
Okay, then I think it's a coin toss whether or not that's Red Wizard learnable. But, alright, thank you to Dwight Desotel, our tracker, who does think it wasn't a Red Wizard slot, so Demon just didn't go back for it on the Red Wizard. Which
That
is, you know...
life too was really helpful.
Oh, I made sure that you could get that ninja back up to take a few hits here and there when needed.
Kinda sad I didn't get any Banes or Brax this seed, though.
No, nobody did. There were a lot of attempts that went through, but I guess they were rolling high enough MDef to ignore any insta-death.
Oh, I was spamming the Bane Sword on Chaos with my ninja. I didn't really have anything else to do.
That's your hail. That's the absolute Hail Mary. You don't expect that one to work, though.
I mean, On the flip side, we've seen it work.
I mean, I saw the first Masa hit, and it hit for 22 damage on like 10 hits. I'm like, well, I'm kind of screwed. And then it ended up doing 600 damage or something the next. I was like, oh, okay, well, this should be over quick. I thought I was going to have to hit the main or rely on him not having enough HP to eat the rest of my Fate and Nuke charges.
That is definitely, we all kind of stopped and looked and went, did that just say 10 or 9 hits for 22? Because this could be a long slog, but sure enough, once the crits came through, it was no big deal.
Yeah. It was one of those things where that absorb was definitely the beginning of a perfect storm. Because, like, if the Chaos also had good evade, that could have gotten real ugly real fast.
I didn't see lock spells at all, so that was another thing. But like, I saw the 22 damage hit and my heart stopped.
Yeah, Demon did poke his head into the magic shop in Lefane, so we know Lock 2 was at level 8.
Yikes.
So I'm gonna go on a limb and guess that Lock was also level 8 in Gaia.
And I bet also combining that fact when you saw 9 for 22, the fact that Chaos came out and hit for like 450 on your Dragon Armored Knight also was a little concerning.
Yeah, you didn't miss my ninja though, so I knew I was gonna be okay. At least, hopefully I was gonna be okay.
So Demon is probably about to get like 10 fights here on the fire floor. Because... Go ahead.
Did he power cycle?
No.
No.
So he hit... So what we think the encounter table looks like is... There's the one big run at the beginning, and then there's that block of like 5 or 6 fights in the middle, and there's another big run, and then a few more fights at the... So if I have to guess, what probably happened is Demon hit Temple of Fiends right when the encounter table was making the bounce back from that first cluster, the one that you when you hit the floor right before Earth. So he's now bouncing through that long run, bouncing through the other end of that long run, and oh no, he's gonna hit that set of encounters on water probably.
Yeah, it's looking like it's hitting water.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad, because water's had crack.
Yeah, we've got crack water.
So...
Well, first it's gotta get through Carrie.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, so, yeah, I will admit we may have laughed a little bit when Carrie immediately, like, wiped out your white wizard.
That was a little annoying, but it wasn't too hard to get another run going. Carrie wasn't that hard after that, that was just some bad luck.
Yeah, that's RNG saying you're just gonna have to slow down here, you're doing a little too well. Oh, Carrie has nuke.
Carrie has nuke, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Demon here did not take nearly the grinds and the time to build up the levels that you did. You know, you were coming in at what, 29, 30?
I think I had... my lowest was like a 27.
Yeah.
I remember my white mage hit like level 20 in Volcano because of that, because he was the only one who finished off the water tile and got like 15,000 XP.
I think this chat counted that you got 5 levels on that one fight.
I think,
yeah.
Well, because like I accidentally exited out of it before I opened the chest, so I had to check it again. And so I think it was like 10 levels she got off that one tile.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Carrie has deleted Ortiz, so that leaves Jericho, Sammy, and Jake to carry on.
He can do it, I believe.
He's in that nasty part of the encounter table, though, so gonna have to get through this.
Yeah.
Only has one ribbon too. Wait, what was Aegis shield?
That is an excellent question. I do not have an answer for it.
And my gear was good enough that I don't need it, but I wonder where it was. Oh, okay.
wasn't that the X-Cal that was right before?
Yeah,
Vampire?
X-Cal was right before. So, for those of you who are watching this video, our restreamer is whispering in our ear where he thinks the Aegis was, and that wasn't where it was. Unless he called the Aegis shield the Excalibur. Repeatedly.
They're basically the same. Just bonk them with the Aegis shield.
This is in Final Fantasy II.
Yeah, we were joking that those two chests were essentially the night starter pack, like the night dream pack right there. That if you
I saw the dragon armor and vampire, I was like, well, this is convenient.
But yeah, X-Cal was in the chest right before the vampire, aka the Maya Memorial Earth chest.
Which is funny because you actually took the spike tile there and then decided I don't even want to open this chest.
Oh yeah, I was just seeing if there was more experience to be gained there.
Incidentally, you scared us all when you exited out of the red D chest without opening it.
Yeah, I do that a lot. That's like a common thing you'll see me do. Not on purpose, just on accident. But yeah, that's a bad habit of mine that I need to break.
Yeah, we kind of figured that was one of those, like, holy cow, I just got through this really tough fight, I need to get out of here, I need to save, I don't care. And then it kind of hit afterwards, like, oh, I did that just a touch too quickly.
I can't imagine what that tile would have been like if it was required progression with no ribbon, because the ribbon was the only reason I got through it.
Well, Sammy does what he does best and takes a hard bump. He is down for the count.
Seems have like no absorb.
Until you get to Chaos.
Until Chaos.
We're through Kraken 2 here, just a couple more to go. He should be on the No, maybe not. Is he?
Well,
he should be close.
Yeah, he's getting
close. To the good part.
So, he might see one or two more fights at most, and then it's just Tia 2 and Chaos left.
Hope he moves that Masa under his fighter. Unless he doesn't have it.
No, he did. He got it. He was he actually had he was going X-Cal on his knight, he had Katana on his ninja, and Masa on his red.
Oh, I thought it was Sun Sword on this knight. I was like, you have Masa, why are you running Sun Sword? But
because the Sun Sword, the defense, and the X-Cal are all the same sprite. With like one slight color difference to differentiate the three of them.
X-Cal's like, yellow and Sun is like orange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the X-Cal's yellow and like kind of peach. The Sun Sword is like orange and kind of peach, and then the defense I think is like yellow and orange.
It's also I think the defense is also like a slight pixel or two wider than the other two.
So barely
possibly. Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's not substantially different now.
It's also happy
no, Demon, you need to run from this. You do not have the firepower to deal with this.
Given all of the good things that you did see, though, even running that white mage, we didn't really see any really good curative spells either, though, which was a little bit concerning. Yeah, heal 3 was, but even like cure 3, cure 4, we didn't see, so they must have been 7, 8.
I think heal 3, I think I saw cure 3 on level 3, but I didn't pick it up because I didn't have the gold at the time, but then I just ended up not getting it in.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, until you got to Temple of Fiends, you really didn't need it.
Oh yeah, I had enough HP. And the reason I took those guesties was because I saw my black mage had like 214 HP, which definitely wasn't going to be enough for me. And then they ended up dying to carry anyway, so...
Here we've got Demon pulling Tia 2, trying to finish this out. Going with the fast and the power. Power again.
Yeah, just going pure offense on the big hurt there.
Yeah. You still think should have moved that Masa up there, though. He's losing a little bit.
Not really.
Not when it gets
really.
to 1,000.
This is, like, literally, Chaos is the point where he has to care.
That's true, the Fiend did not roll Absorb.
Yeah, he does need to remember to move that Masa over, though.
Lich 2 was like less than 600 HP, too.
Which one was less than 270?
Oh, I hate that to a nuke, just straight up.
Praise the sun, he's moving the boss up.
Oh, he's gonna go with Bane strats too. I love it.
Maybe he'll hit the Bane. Succeed where I failed.
He's doing the last minute checks here, making sure everything's in order. I think he's got to move that ribbon.
Yeah, he's got to move that ribbon. There's just the absorb that the fighter would theoretically... Yeah, there you go. There you go. No pro rings. I guess the only pro ring we actually saw in a box was the one you found in Marsh, and Demon didn't go there, so...
You didn't do Bottle, though. I skipped it completely.
Bottle, I think, just gave the Opal bracelet.
Yeah, because Slab was raw and that was my gun mode.
So...
Alright, here we go. Defensing up fast. Here...
Yeah, that defense already paying off because that fighter was able to tank a good hit.
Yeah, did not do the 450 that we saw against you here, man.
Oh yeah, that was... Especially on the fighter that I back rode.
Thunder, so that's pretty much chip with that ribbon. We got the tempers, we got power coming out, so starting to buff them up now. Swinging and heal 3, 9 hits 240, heal 3, keep everyone topped up. Nuclear from Chaos!
Nuclear remove Red Mage. We are now officially in Hold A and Pray. Can DemonRHK manage to get the pin?
He can do it, I believe.
Ooh, 10,874 says that's enough, Chaos. Thanks for coming out. Get your GGs out for DemonRHK.
And that is an official SRL time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 26 seconds. Alright, and Demon will be joining us.
Overall, a solid showing by both.
And Demon has closed the inner circle. Alright, let me pull him in here. Demon! GG! If your mic's working, it's... yeah. Alright, Demon will probably be able to join us in a minute.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. So, before we get to anything else, I just have to say I was thoroughly amused when I realized that your party was the inner circle.
Hey, at least somebody did.
I may or may not have I may or may not have failed to throw in enough wrestling jokes, but still, I appreciated it, even if absolutely no one else did. Anyway, to the seed itself. So, how do you feel?
I feel I was a little too scatterbrained and all over the place. It was a beyond jet seed. I mean, I was looking over and I'm like, oh, it's only like an hour 20. I'm not going to see anything. And then an hour and a half rolls around. I see dot done. And I'm like, well, this isn't good.
So, all right. The big difference between you and Min, Min manipulated encounters in order to take advantage of that massive run from the beginning. There were multiple dungeons that he did not see a fight in because he literally just power cycled when he went in. And that was probably the biggest single time loss you had compared to him. Was just he was able to just fly through dungeons without taking a single fight.
Yeah, that, and he probably didn't dive Earth without the rod either.
I mean, fortunately, you landed Earth in the good part of the table, So you didn't lose too much time on that, and that Excalibur Dragon armor did definitely help you out in the dungeons you went to after that. No, he dived Marsh right at the beginning of the seed.
Oh wow.
Before he turned in the TNT to get the key, to find the adamant, to get the herb, to get the canoe, so he could just go get the airship right away. So that part actually kind of balanced out very, very nicely. Because even with the encounter manip, Marsh is still Marsh.
Yeah.
And Marsh is the worst. But yeah, no, it's one of those things, like, outside of the encounter manipulation, generally speaking, your routing was pretty alright. I noticed you had a couple of false starts going into Ice Cave, but, and we know we know that was required, but, like, you didn't dither about deciding whether or not to make the ice dive. You landed there, you thought about it, and you went on, it looked like. So, trying to think of other things I noticed.
I would say definitely that encounter table routing was the biggest thing that unfortunately would set you back in places, because you would end up hitting multiple encounters in places where Min just walked through. I mean, even him doing Marsh, he didn't see an encounter the entire like he ran up to the top floor, cleared it, and could get out before even getting a fight, pretty much.
Oh yeah. What was the back half of that encounter table? Something like 7 encounters in 12 steps?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much, you had a gigantic run, then you would have about 4 or 5 fights, then you had another fairly decent run, and then like a 7-8 fight block before it would cycle back.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, like, if I understand correctly, Demon, you're relatively new to Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. Am I mistaken on that?
Oh no, that's true. I'm brand new to it.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, as far as, like, your experience, and that, like, for the time you've put into the randomizer, like, that is a fairly understandable thing that you still need to kind of get the hang of. Encounter manipulation's probably I would say, one of the single hardest skills to learn as a new runner. Just because it's not really something a lot of other games have. Or that, you have to, like, kind of have running in the back of your head the whole time. So, yeah, it probably cost you a good chunk of time in this race, but it's also not something you need to, like, sit there and kick yourself over, because it's not something that people learn overnight.
The other big thing
But
about it, sorry, as I said, the other big thing about it being is it's unfortunate that it was just so evident in this one, because it was right off the power cycle. Like, that was the thing that was so big. If that run was, if you didn't have that big of a hero run, and the vast majority of randomizers will not give you a run of that length, that would have been a non-issue. But in this particular one race, it was unfortunately very evident.
yeah, but it is one of those things, like, I do know your name from a few other rando communities, and, like, you definitely have a lot of upside coming your way with Final Fantasy 1 in the next few weeks. Just because, like I said, almost all of your time loss came strictly from Min manipulating that encounter rate. And if that's where you were losing your time against someone with, like, Min's experience, you definitely, you're going to do well in the next few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. There was no, your proximity routing was good. Going through different checks was good. Taking the little grinds here and there, finding out, you didn't waste time on bad fights or bad tiles. And that definitely picked good grind tiles, like spending a good chunk of time on the Agama tile in ice. things like that. So there's obviously a lot of knowledge that was sitting there, that you definitely leaned on. And one little thing like this is just something that, it's unfortunate. It's one of those things like forgetting to translate the slab going to Lefane. You do it once or twice and you figure out, okay, not doing that anymore. It's one of those things where it's take it for lesson learned, and it's just going to make you so much better. And I'd be worried about playing you in the next few weeks if when you start incorporating some of the more, I would say definitely the more advanced things of FF1R.
Yeah, it was definitely a seed. I knew that if Ben was going to be doing encounter manip, that I was in trouble, because my habit is I try to take a level 1 fight right outside of Corneria, get my quick level, go back in, so I have a couple more spells. And I'm spending like 30 seconds running around in the forest, and I went, oh, this isn't good.
Yeah, no, when we saw you doing that, that was when, like, Ilmars and I both had that moment of just, huh, that's taking a really long time for Demon to get that fight. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Other interesting things about the seeds was I called it the River Styx, trying to take the canoe over to Crescent, because I think 3 different monsters in there had Death Touch, and I was like getting through on the skin of my teeth.
Yeah, we did catch that. So you'll see this if you go back and you'll hear this if you go back and watch the VOD, but just for future reference, if you have the canoe and the floater and you're at, it is actually faster to take the overland route, like go south through that massive swamp area, to go ahead and get the airship.
It is, but I wanted to grab the item from Crescent first.
I mean, it's one of those things you could have just taken the airship over to Crescent after you got it.
But the canoe, I wanted to take the river. But yeah, it's absolutely true. It was a fun seed overall, and I knew
Oh,
it was
yeah.
going to be a challenge. And I'm like, okay, maybe if there's not a great grind tile, maybe I can make it up somewhere, since I've had to take all these fights. And then I find a 4 Agama tile in ice, and I'm like, oh, so much for that. That's out the window. Let's take some levels.
Yeah, Min did the same thing when he found that tile in Ice Cave. He also stopped to do the gas D tile in Mirage.
Yeah, he spent a good amount of time. He burned a lot of charges. He did pretty much a full grind on those Gasties, dropping every fade and everything, and then exiting out and going back through Sky to really buff his levels.
Oh, Fade. Yeah, talk about taking black red and then having the worst feeling of ever seeing Fade in a spot you can't get it.
I mean, yeah, Min saw the fade and immediately reset his party.
Fair enough. But no, it was a great race. Thanks, guys, for commentating. Congrats, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you. You too.
No problem. Thank you for running. Yeah, Min. Anything else you wanted to mention before we give Randomania Prime back at station?
Nope. I think that was a really good seed overall. We both played really well.
All right. So yeah, thanks everyone who's still here for tuning in and watching. Thank you folks who are on YouTube and sat through the end of this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
Don't forget to follow all our runners, our tracker, Dwight, Caleb, Wout, Demon, and Min who ran the race. Follow everybody. Give them all some love.
Absolutely. And especially Ilmars. Ilmars, this was your first time commentating Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer, if I'm not crazy.
That's true. This was the first go of it. So hope I held my own.
You could have fooled everyone. Like, straight up, if we hadn't said at the top of the show, yeah, this is Ilmar's first time, I think everyone would have been like, huh, have I ever heard this guy before?
Well, I appreciate it. Well, greatly appreciated.
Yeah, no, you did fantastic. In fact, why don't you go ahead and take us home?
That will conclude this race here tonight on Randomania. Check out Speed Gaming, the other channels that we're running for this tournament. This is week 3, the fire week of our Monte Chaos Casino Royale Tour Spring Tournament 2020. Thank you all so very much. Check out the Randomania schedule, Speed Gaming schedule to see the rest. Check out the Discord for FFR. I'm Elmar Zubermuller. This was Vote, and we will see you all next time.